Yes, so children, some of you have joined late. Let me start. Today we are going to study the story The Necklace. It is written by a French. Author G.D. Maupassant, and in this story, he has told us that we should live within our limits. If we are crossing the limit, that will certainly lead to some miserable circumstances in which we may have to suffer in future. Unnecessarily, we should not stretch our seat so that we may suffer later. So this is the key point or the key message of the story writer. Now the thing is, the story has some dint of satire, at the same time irony also. Satire lies in the fact that the author has commented on the people who is leading a showy life just to show others they are doing certain things. Okay, so now I am going to begin the story. This time let's start. Matilda, or Madame Loisel, was a pretty woman. No doubt she was very beautiful, but at the same time this happened that she was born, as it is written in the story by the author, by an error of destiny into a poor family. So you can think that she was very beautiful, no doubt, but she was born into the family of, you can say, just a poor family, ordinary family. However, at the same time, she had a dream to live a life of comfort and luxury, just as the other rich people in the society live. So first of all, she was born to a poor family. It is called by the author an error of destiny. And secondly, at the time of marriage, she was married to a low paid clerk in the Ministry of Education. So she was married to a clerk. Now this happens that every time while living in the family, she was thinking, she was dreaming how to become rich, how to spend a life of luxury, comfort. That was the dream of her. And then every day at the time of you can say dinner, whenever the husband and wife, Mr. and Madame Loisel, were sitting at the dinner table, Matilda was always thinking, looking at the poor cutlery on the table and the quality of food. So she thought that had it been possible for her to be fed with silver spoons, in silver cutlery, just like the rich people. So in this way, and moreover, she wanted to have gorgeous dresses to wear. Then it happens that one day in the office of Mr. Loisel, the minister has distributed some cards of party that was being organized at his residence, and therefore one of the card was given to Mr. Loisel also. He was also invited in the party along with the family. Mr. Loisel was really very happy getting that card and invitation card from the office, and he came home very happily. He arrived home and gave that card to um, his wife. Then his wife first of all looked at the card. She read the content. I am also going to read the content of the card. It is here in the book. You can see: the Minister of Public Instruction and Madam George Ramson asked the honor of Mr. and Madam Loisel's company Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. So that was the content of the card that was written, and Madam Loisel read it. After reading that content, instead of getting happy or feeling glad, Madam Loisel showed the sign of sadness on her face. She was not very much happy, and just she threw the card on the table. She was, you can say, looking very depressed at that time, and very soon Mr. Loisel discovered that she is not feeling happy because she does not have a gorgeous dress to be worn in the party which was going to be held at the residence of the minister. It was a ball party where people dance together, they enjoy, and so many things take place. So Mr. Loisel told her that there is nothing to worry. She could just wear the dress which often she wore on the occasion whenever they went to see a movie at the theater. She can have that dress and she can go to the party. That was the words which Mr. Loisel spoke to his wife. But even that could not change the determination of Madame Loisel to have a new and gorgeous dress. That happened. Now what happens? Now they were deciding. Mr. Loisel was very much depressed when his request was turned down, rejected by the wife to wear that old dress. Now they were planning to buy a new dress. They calculated the cost of a new dress, and it was nearly costing them 400 francs. So this was really a big amount for a low paid clerk, and therefore this happened that Mr. Loisel was not very much happy listening to this amount, and so whatever saving he had done for himself, keep in mind Mr. Loisel had already saved some francs, nearly 400 francs, to buy a gun for his hunting. He was very much interested in hunting expeditions, and this year he has decided to buy the gun. But the demand of Madame Loisel was very acute to him, and he could not turn down the request of his wife, that is Matilda. Let me tell you children, Matilda and Madame Loisel are same. They are not the two different persons. So with a pale face, with a lot of drops of perspiration on his face, Mr. Loisel offered those 400 francs to his wife and asked him to buy the new dress. Now one problem was solved. The new dress was purchased by Madame Loisel. So up to here things were managed. But here onwards another problem arises. And what was that problem? That problem was, now she has got a very gorgeous dress, but she was thinking that she had no jewelry like the rich women's. She was going to attend the party in the house of a minister. So many rich families, ladies would be arriving there, gathering together, and they would all be wearing costly jewelry. And as far Matilda is concerned, Madame Loisel is concerned, she has nothing to wear, no jewelry to wear. So this is a very important point. Now she expressed her desire to have the jewelry. Mr. Loisel was not in condition financially to buy her any jewelry, and so he offered Madame Loisel the suggestion that in this case she may go to her rich friend Madame Forestier. Madame Forestier was her friend when they were studying together in the convent, and now Mr. Loisel told her that Matilda could go to her friend, her rich friend, and demand her some jewelry, some nice jewelry that could suit the occasion of the ball party at the house of the minister's residence. Then it happens that immediately the idea struck to the mind of Madame Loisel, and she reached at the house of her friend Madame Forestier. Madame Forestier showed her plenty of jewelry after talking to her, and Matilda kept on rejecting the jewelries, as she had been shown too many jewelries of different types, some gold, some silver, some platinum, means a very costly jewelry she had been shown. But finally she had taken the necklace. It was a very costly necklace, and she checked herself wearing that necklace in front of the mirror, and she finalized that she would borrow the necklace for the night from Madame Forestier. She did it finally. She took that necklace and returned happily to her house. So up to this point we have understood that Matilda or Madame Loisel had borrowed the necklace from Madame Forestier just to show others in the party at the house of the minister's residence. Then it happens, the day of the party arrived. Madame Loisel was very happy that day. She dressed herself gorgeously, and then she wore that necklace. She was no doubt looking very beautiful in her dress. And then what happens? When the party began, Madame and Mr. Loisel also entered there, and very soon Matilda attracted the attention of all the guests who were assembled together in the party. She drew the attention of each and everybody who was present, and now they had a very nice time throughout the night. The drink, the dancing, the merrymaking, the rejoicing, things were going on, and finally it was late in the night. As I have already told you, Matilda was the center of attraction for everyone. Everybody wanted to dance with her, everybody wanted to have her address, everybody wanted to speak to her, because she was really looking very attractive in the wearing that necklace and her new dress. Now the party continued late till night, but before the morning arrived, Matilda and Mr. Loisel thought that they should leave the party. They wanted to go back home, and for this reason, what did they do? They decided to leave the party early, so that no one could see them, so that no one could identify that the necklace was a borrowed one. That is in order to conceal, in order to hide her real identity, Matilda left the party very early in the morning. Now they were standing on the road out of the house of the minister and waiting for some cab. but you know cab is not available early in the morning. Even in your city you can see this. So one or two cab just passed in front of them, but that did not really stopped at their signal, and so they had to wait long. Somehow Mr. Loisel arranged a cart, and they were somehow managed to reach their home. In this way they arrived at the home. Let us see how one problem is connected with the other. Now they arrived at the home. Madame Loisel was very happy that the party was a grand success from her point of view. She has got what she wanted. She wanted the appreciation of each and every one presented in the party, and that really happened there. Now she wanted to have one final look in the mirror. So before changing her dress, she just went in front of her dressing table and looked her image in the mirror, reflection in the mirror. Now the catastrophe came. What is the catastrophe? Now suddenly the bad time started, I should say. In simple words, I can say that bad time started for her because the necklace was no longer in her neck. It was lost. So up to this point, we have understood the dream, the desire, and to what extent Matilda was successful in fulfilling her dream. And then finally she discovered, when she had a look at herself in front of the mirror in the house, she found that the necklace was totally missing from there. So in this way Matilda had lost the borrowed necklace of Madame Forestier, and she became very much worried and upset, and here onwards the story takes a new turn, and so I would continue the story in my second lecture. Okay, thank you children.